What's up, kids? Welcome back to another stream. Nice to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. Thought I'd just jump right in today because I've got limited time. I'm going to head to the beach in an hour. What is this? This is where I make music and I release template files. If you're interested, check the link in the channel description for the free download. And I show up every day, every weekday, 2 p.m. UTC. So we started, I think yesterday I started on this track 5. The reference, the theme that I'm going for is kind of a Mortal Kombat vibe. And I'm currently doing some drum processing. You can see this automation curve over here. That's the length of the hi-hat. Take a listen. I kind of like that. We can maybe move over to a different percussion. Yeah, basically I'm going to be using an arpeggiator on the drum machine to create these kind of very quick action sounds. Okay, so that's the vibe. If you are an Ableton producer, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you do and what your kind of what your vibe is. So yeah, do drop a message in the chat, and of course if you want to support the stream you can like and subscribe, and yeah, if you want to become a patron, just check out what's on offer at the link in the description. You'll see I'm growing a library of Ableton Live full complete songs, like project files, everything self-contained, no missing samples, no missing VSTs, and I put those up on my Patreon 2 or 3 a month, and your price there is currently $6 a month. Feel free to join in and have exclusive access to all of the coolest stuff that I make for remix purposes and for educational purposes. If you are learning how to use Ableton, always good to start with somebody else's work to get an idea of how things are done. Cool. Where were we? Right, let's just check this out. What do we got here? I've got this controller keyboard in front of me, and as you can hear, it plays a variety of different sounds. And the cool thing is I can just hold down a key and it automatically plays it like an arpeggiator. So let's get into this and how we're gonna use it to our advantage today. So actually what you can hear already is I want to lengthen out these drum sounds. Let's get just a standard, yeah, like a there we go. We call it quantizing. Okay, that's good, except it's a bit offbeat. Let's just lengthen this. I'm going to move this guy a little bit to the left, to move that one to the right, and I want to take them both and actually lengthen them out. So you do that with the shift key, like that. Okay, now the arpeggiator is currently set to an 1/8. It should be triggering it a lot quicker than that. Let's take a listen and see if I can make it work. Again, not working. Oh, I understand why. It's because the hi-hat is actually interfering with this pattern. It's triggering the hi-hat as one of the notes of that 16th rhythm. So it's giving 8 to the hi-hat and 8 to the drums. This is not ideal. What we actually want is separation of these two. So what I might have to do is just refactor this a little bit. Let's kill the velocity for now. I don't need that. In case you're wondering, I've got a velocity device over there. Okay, let's see, how can we do this? I do like this sound. Maybe we should just separate out all of the sounds themselves. So hats up, let's call it hats up. And then we'll duplicate that and call it Tom's up. Okay, that's much better, I think. And then we just delete that. Copy it over and delete the drums from the hi-hat patch and the hi-hat from the drum patch. Now it should sound both with 16th notes. That's what I'm going for. Right, now we've got a nice way of figuring out, yeah, we've got nice options for drum fills here, like action-packed drum fills. I'm excited. Let's do it. 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, let's shorten that a little bit. Again. 4, 1, 2. Alright, we can even do better than that by just sticking in one or two of the middle tom drum sounds so that we're going from high to low. It's a very common technique for 80s music. Any music really. I want that to be shorter. Oops. Okay, we are just fleshing that out. Are you new to the channel? Are you checking things out for the first time? Drop a message in the chat. I love to hear from people while I work. Okay, I think it starts a bit early. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's good. Okay, good. Good, so then you got the bass chromatic walk down on the bass at the same time as the toms, and it's a nice overwhelming moment. Okay. It also means we don't need this envelope, so I'm going to clear that. Cool. I'm going to jump back onto the left here, and let's continue with our action sequence. Now, at this point, we've got just 16 bars, which is not, I mean, it's a nice exciting start, but we kind of have to lean more on, I think we've got to go into some, like progression. We've got to progress it a little bit. We can't just use the same thing again and again. So I'm going to work on creating some drum sequences, which can provide some variety to the tracks, breaks in the rhythm and that kind of thing, so it doesn't just sound like an ongoing machine gun. That's a nice moment, I like it a lot, except I just want to I want to actually shorten this a little bit. Let's see if it sounds here like this. Good, and then we can simplify this envelope. I think you've got a simplify option. No, only in modulation mode. So Ableton does well with allowing you to reduce the number of automation points in an envelope. It saves a bit of data, but it's also just easier to work with. Yeah, nice little hi-hat send-off. There we go. Now we've got to come up with another instrument here. This was one I used in the previous track. Let's hear how it sounds. Not really suitable, I don't think. We'll keep it open. I know the stabs work well, which is why we're using this patch. It sounds a little bit like New Order or something. Okay, let's move with the drums. What I'm doing is tweaking this resonance knob on the synth, on the stabs. That sounds quite cool, yeah. It's techno. So this would be considered maybe progressive 80s music. Techno really only came in kind of the 90s. Well, hit the mainstream in the 90s. The best decade, the 90s. I come from the 90s. I am an advocate of the 90s. I'm a 90s man. Cool. I'm gonna let's remove that. The hats is going to be a resample channel, so let's just call that resample. Okay, if you're new to what if you just joined or you're new to what I'm doing, this is creating some action music using Ableton Live. Right now, what I'm going to do in the other window is look for the Mortal Kombat theme and just give it a quick listen. Let's call it MK1, the first Mortal Kombat theme. Yeah, that's it. 15 years kind of old. Oh yes. Okay, so there was a snare drum in this. I'm not playing it deliberately. I don't want you to hear it because YouTube will flag me for copyright. So there are a couple of things that I've just heard which are different to what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so we've got an intro section which is... Okay, so now we're venturing on game music here. I know the title of the stream is GTA 6, but we're going to go with sort of Mortal Kombat for this one. So I'm doing a Mortal Kombat sound alike, basically. And what we're missing here is that's a good sound for the that kind of thing, just as a preamble to the main action. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Let's just release. Let's record that. I'm gonna set up my recording environment here. There we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we've got that as a kind of a loop. So we'll just bring that in straight away and flip back to main arrangement. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut it there and play. I think I cut it too early, but it's fine. Ableton is great at preserving data. Now we've got to quantize that to 100%. Good, and we want to crop that. And then... Okay, good. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Let us then use this as a loop. So I'm going to extend this outwards, and we can then stretch it to 2 full instances. I'm also going to start, like with the original Mortal Kombat, I'm going to start with a really cheesy crash sound. So that's here. That's it there. So all we've got to do now is just record that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. Recording finished, and that means we've got a crash sound over there. I wonder if you cut a crash sound straight out of Ableton, like right now, all I need is the beginning. I wonder if I can trigger it. No, it won't, you see, because it's recorded it as starting after the beginning of the note, so I've got to actually move it to here now. This is a bit silly. Maybe there's a quicker way to do this, but yeah, I'm not going to bother with it now. Let's just get that right over there. Cool. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Crop clip. And then we'll go straight into the intro like this. So I'm building on the arrangement of this track now, starting with a nice big 707 crash sound. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And here comes the kind of intro lead and hook. We're going to repeat this twice. And then change key and then get into this kind of action sequence. Cool. And then from there we'll build on it some more. So when I work, I like to bring the arrangement as quickly as possible to actually flesh out the parts of the song before working on the timbres and all of that. I don't use loop mode enough. This Ableton loop session view is fantastic for like generating ideas, but I tend to just kind of think more like an old school recording engineer, where I want to know the like scaffolding of the entire song before I start to do any tweaking of instruments and that kind of thing. So I'm keeping it really basic here. Let's keep going with the arrangement. So it feels like crash, and then 2 instances of the intro hook. And I also just need to get a drop the automation out there so it doesn't go the whole way. That should pause. Okay, I'm just going to get that back into focus there. There we go. Techno rave. Now don't forget we're going to let's okay, what I did there was I need to join that. So get off automation mode, join it up, loop it. I wish there was a way, I don't know if there is, if any Ableton heads out there know, of including the automation you've recorded here into your loop extension. So I want to use this. I don't want to have to go copy, paste, or duplicate. I want to actually just be able to stretch it out. Maybe there's a way to do that. I don't know. If you know that kind of thing, please leave a message in the channel or a comment 5 years from now, and I'll still get it, and I'll probably have learned. Maybe I'll have learned by then. Who knows? Okay, let's go. If it seems like I'm rushing things, it's because I've basically promised the community to put out about 10 tracks a month. of these template files, of these template projects for patrons to download. And yeah, I kind of have to blaze through it sometimes. I'd love to sit here and play guitar all day, but this is what I call my community service. So yeah, we just kind of get on with things. Okay, we're getting some 90s kind of techno-inspired action music going. So this could be for a game or something like that. And right now we are triggering. Get the clips the same color. Cool, there we go. If you're new to the stream, drop a message. Let me know what you're up to. What is your Ableton journey? Okay, I think it's a mistake to, at this point, repeat this hi-hat, the way it like signs off here, the way it ends here. Now we should be like into the meat of it now. We shouldn't be like, we shouldn't be, what am I saying? We shouldn't be diluting it too much. I'm going to just try something here. Does that work? No, that inserts time. So here's the problem I've got. I need this loop to be extended, and unfortunately it's not working. Let's try it again. Boom. I was always Raiden. That was my favorite character. He was a badass, the Thunder God. Mortal Kombat is incredible. The way it made up all that stuff. I mean, it's like folklore. It's like they made up essentially like mythology, like for a whole generation, you know? All these characters, Raiden and Shang Tsung and Goro, they're like just straight out of the minds of the creative, you know? It's amazing. They deserve to be, you know, in people's, in the popular canon of gaming for decades to come. They've certainly done a good job of making violence accessible. Okay, let's put a marker in here, and I'm going to call this the kind of intro section, the main section, and I'm going to call this intro. Actually, no, I'm not going to do markers. I'll tell you why. It's I'm not going to do named markers. I'm just going to do regular markers. Add locator. I don't want a time signature change. I want a locator. Thank you. Cool. Locator over there. Now you hear the hi-hat's building. Yeah, that's nice. That drop like that is cool. Very good. So the stabs disappear there. What we need now is high strings, and I did actually use some high strings in a previous project. I might still have them. Let's just check. Let's find the where is it? Over there. No, there. Is this it? Yeah, I think that's it. High strings. It's called pad, but it's actually strings. Yeah, there we go. Mtron strings. But this might be a little bit too sophisticated for what I'm trying to do, so I'm going to actually just find something else in my library of stuff. What I'm looking for now is a string patch. I'm just going to search strings, and we've got these types of things, 80s FM strings. I'm literally just going to replace the existing string patch with a new one. It doesn't really matter. This is what I've learned. Like, when it comes to roles, like the roles that various musical parts play or instruments play, I think there's too much attention being placed onto like getting the perfect right sound. High strings are high strings. Whether you use patch A, patch B, or patch C, what you're doing is saying, this is the role that I want this part to play. So in a horror movie, for example, just, you know, if you just hold on a high string, you're going to start to get tension, and that's the role that it plays. A high sustained string creates tension. More important to know that than to know the identity of the exact patch. Cool. I don't know what any of these are. Some of them are actually sounding. You can't hear it, but I can. These are just string samples. Maybe some samples would be a good idea. This is where I'd love to have the time to record it myself. Slow string pad. Nah, this is like that sounds like that pretty shitty like Ableton sound. Ensemble strings I'd like to include, but unfortunately it's a patch that won't come bundled when I export this file, and I only export Ableton Live projects for the community to use if they don't have like missing samples, missing packs, missing like VSTs or dependencies. So yeah, I can't do that. Synthetic choir strings, I like that. It's like that's kind of what I'm going for, yeah. But do we have a version of this with a nice sharp attack? This is going to be a high C. No, yes, a high C. Now we actually need to find that sample. If it's probably a multi-sample, but I need to like drastically reduce the attack sound. So there we go. Cool. Fortunately, that worked. It's funny. Synthetic strings are in Wavetable. I thought that Wavetable was well, it's newer, but I thought that synthetic strings was an old patch. Maybe they've re-patched it for Ableton 11. Okay, let's try it without the chorus. Let's take that up. That's the one we want, even higher. And let's just take off large stage. We want it to sound a little bit like amateur, a little bit shitty. Okay, that's gonna come in over here. So let's get ready to record. I'm just gonna drop in 2, 3, 4. Now we get to the tension stage, yeah. And then we've got to kill the beat after this. Cool. We could do a off the cliff kind of drop over there, like I say. I call it a cliff drop or something like that. Let's just quantize this stuff real quick. Okay, cool. Cats, moving forward with this 80s action sounding Mortal Kombat spin-off, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it, I must say. Let's take it from the beginning and just give it a listen and see what could be used. Could be done better. Okay, let's also add the pad in here. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's definitely the way to go. 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. High G. Okay, kill the click. I can hear the shouts. Now we actually need a second high percussion there. That kind of like hi-hat, 4 to the floor beat. I think this could even be the higher octave. That's it, yeah. Have I got, this is a layer, is this an octave layer? Yes it is, let's take it up. That's it, nice and high like that, okay, sweet. Cool cats, making some Mortal Kombat sound alike. I know the title says GTA 6, but yeah, this could conceivably be used in some kind of fight sequence or chase sequence in GTA 6, I don't know, I haven't played it. But the point is, it's Creative Commons music for the community to use in their games. And once I'm done with this project, as well as all the other projects I'm making this month, I will be releasing them via my Patreon, but for free. This is going to be the bait for for future patrons. I want to give away a ton of 80s stuff just for general kind of copyright-free usage. So if that sounds good, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube, or if you can follow as a free member on Patreon to get updates. Yeah, of course, just like and share the channel, and yeah, if you like what I'm doing, help me grow it. And yeah, live streams every day here at 2 p.m. UTC. So that's mornings in New York and evenings in sort of afternoon, evening in Mumbai, and late night in Beijing. Okay, not that we're reaching that far just yet. Okay, what did I say we need here is at this point we need to include a open hi-hat. Oh yes, the maracas could also come in handy. So general next step now, working on bringing some complexity to the rhythm. I'm going to give the Mortal Kombat original soundtrack another listen. You won't hear it, but I'm just going to get some reference music in my ears. they've got samples of the actual fight and the shout, and that already helps. Yeah, it's actually not much more than that. It's just samples of the fights and the shouting and that kind of thing. That's what makes the track. I'm not going to include that type of stuff in here, but I've got to figure out a way to bring that energy to the track without actually using the samples. Okay, maybe the guitar could help there because it's a live instrument, like just a little, or some stabs or something like that. Okay. Oh yes, I discovered this instrument the other day, the Lush Rhodes. Oh, that's very high. Very high. I think its power is in the low end actually. Yeah, it's not very good on the high end. Anyway, sidetrack. We're working on the kit, that's right. Let's get the kit going and add some. That's what we need. Okay, and we're gonna just. Okay. Okay, I think there are samples scattered all over this drum rack, unfortunately. So it's not very consistent, but and this kick could also use a bit of beef. But let's get to the sound design stage of it later. What I'm going to first do is just flesh out the arrangement. Okay, and the first thing I want to do actually is get some maracas in here. Yeah. Yeah, one. That's it, yeah. Get a couple of those. And cool, that's fine. They're just a little bit high in the mix, so let's bring them down. Cool. Or we could actually even shadow the kick with the maracas. Let's just try that real quick. I like this idea of layering the kick. Maybe that's the way to go. Not use them as a percussive instrument. So it's basically just a kick layer. Okay. Maybe we could do one more iteration of the beat. And yeah, at this point we could just keep this hats up really low. We don't actually want the automation to come in and raise the energy at this point. So how do I clear this? It's going to clear the whole thing. What I'm trying to do is just clear the automation for this particular part, and I'm having a little trouble. Damn, yeah, I can't do this like deleting envelope points bullshizer. Just too time consuming. What are you up to today? If you just joined the stream or you're interested in what I'm doing, you can drop a comment. I love chatting to people while I work. Let's keep that suspense going. So we want the pad sound to continue. All of this can be extended. Oops, that's going to take very long. Let's just chop it forward there. There we go. And this can be a 16 bar loop. Yeah. Cool. Here we go, kids. 80s action mode. And then we go back to the intro. I think that might actually be, it's cool, but it's just stays in the same key. Let's take it down. Let's take it up, yeah. Yes, yeah, we'll just keep that in key, alright. So I'm doing a little bit of creative license here by bringing the intro loop back, or the intro section, the intro passage into the middle of the track in a different key. So we're starting out in G minor, not that it matters too much what the key is, and then later on the same thing but higher. Okay. Let's do 3. This is a very 90s thing. You do 3 of one, and then the last one, which is the big send-off, and then you work on the big build-up. So this is turning into a techno track, which is fine, and it's obeying the kind of the rules of techno and builds and drops. And wait, made a mistake. No, I made a mistake. Oh, because I'm copying automation. That's right. I don't want to be in automation mode. I want to be in regular mode. Okay, and then we've got this section here, which we're going to join and loop, and so then we've got 2 full iterations of the new section, the new build section. Okay, let's do it. Okay, how about trying to feel out how this is going to work. We need to bring some toms in here. And then we go back to this. Okay, we definitely need a second melody part for this main section. We don't have any samples. It's kind of we've got to figure out a way to build this up more effectively. So let's do it from the top. Listen through again. I'm going to add a kick to this crash just to kick things off properly. And I think the kick could have a bit more balls, so we're going to add the decay is maxed, and we actually want that to be even higher. Subu TV, hello. Hey Subu TV, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. What's your story? Are you an Ableton producer? What brings you here today? You're obviously a fan of cheesy music like me. This is cool. I've made a lot of progress in this hour. I'm really like, yeah, I've got to get 10 tracks out a month, so I've got to kind of fly through it, and the arrangement's kind of writing itself a bit here, which is nice. Let's get to a second. It's varied enough. It doesn't get boring very quickly. Now we're going into a build up. This pad should keep going. And then a 1-bar break, and then we drop right back into the action. Cool. I'm going to just add a automation dropout here so that we don't have the pad the whole way through. Let's take it from this drop section again. Sorry, the break section, not the drop, the break section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, break. Okay, and something tense, something a little bit suspenseful is happening here. Okay, suspense is happening. Now we get the lead hook again in the new key. while the beat disappears. This is a nice change from the constant beat that was going on. Okay, now we get a little touch of the toms. And instead of going back to the beat, we go into further suspense. And we should drop out here. There, the pad. Maybe a bit of delay there. Okay, cool. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm putting together a sound-alike of the Mortal Kombat theme, like the original one from back in the 90s, and I'm going to be releasing this pack as a free Ableton Live project download. If you're interested in finding out more, you can always just check out the link in the description. There's other free packs that I've done. I'm slowly growing a library of basically just giveaway Ableton stuff that people can use in their own productions. You can edit it yourself, use it in games, repost your videos, that kind of thing. So no copyright music for the community. That's my vibe. If that sounds like something you'd like to support, there is a Patreon page available, and you can get all the best stuff basically through that. Right on. But I'm like most interested in just connecting with people, you know, so let me know what you're up to. You're a TV channel maker, or have you got like a YouTube channel that you work on? What brings you here today, Subu? Okay, that's in the wrong place. All of this stuff needs to be one bar there. And what I want to do here at this point with the stabs is hike up the delay to a newly created send track. So C reverb is not being used at the moment. Let's change that to filter delay. Actually, yeah, filter delay is fine. Filter delay on the return track, and I'm gonna be doing it doing just a straight 1 2 3 4 in the left and right channels, and we'll do it with 100% there, maybe 0 there, because it's a send track. I want it to be quite audible. And then at the very last minute of this here, we hike it up. So we're going to stick a let's just stick a nice big filter delay. Let's hear how that sounds. That's kind of what I was going for. Yes. All right, let's just do a fade on that so that it comes in. Okay, good. We've got a little high pad sound coming through at the very end of the passage, which I don't like. That high string sound, whatever it is. Looks like I may be re-enabling the automation too quickly, so let's just do that a little bit further there. Okay, so now let's give this a listen. I'm going to pump up the filter delay a little bit more, and we can hear how to kick people into gear. Okay, here we go. It's a little bit off. Why? Feedback can be... Let's just take it up in volume. Try it again. It sounds like it's delayed, like a little bit, like later than it should be. Why is that? See, it comes in a bit late. Maybe what we can do is Let's try it further. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. It's not in sync. Horrible. Doesn't sound right at all. It's supposed to go. I'm going to replace filter delay with a standard delay, and let's see if that makes any difference. Disable that. You have failed me for the last time. Also, maybe I could just tweak the actual okay, well, firstly on the notes in time, and maybe I'm doing it too enthusiastically. Let's bring the start point further forward. That's not bad. It's still too late though. Let's take it forward in time, so I'm just gonna bring this down. I wonder what this time parameter does. Oh, it like slows it down like that. That's pretty cool. It's quite disappointing actually. I thought it would just be a straightforward thing of like the signal is going to where it should be. Maybe it's this. Don't know. Can't figure it out. I try not to figure these things out too much on stream because it's kind of a bit of a not a very interesting thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the delay onto the actual channel, and then instead we're going to show the automation there and delete that automation. Okay, good. And now we should have this automation coming through from here. Let's just do, can you just insert, yes you can. Take it up. I wonder if you can set the time to insert. Brilliant. I love you, Ableton. I love your work. Okay. That's the one. Good. Thank you very much. Got it. And then that can be done by there. Cool. Problem solved. Instead of using a send, I'm putting it directly onto the track. If you don't know what that means, that's totally fine. I'm just speaking a bit of jargon. If you do know what it means, that means you love Ableton as much as I do. So why don't you go ahead and download some of the free packs in the channel description. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get straight back into this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to lose that time over there. Okay. Good. I'm going to take that over there. Okay, good. We'll get back to here, back to the start, to reboot it at this point. I'm going to add a 4/4 time signature change here so that I can get to the right division of loops up in the time bar, whatever it's called, the timeline. Okay. And now we can go back into this with the high strings. High strings may be a little bit overdone by now. Maybe we should just take them down an octave. Yeah, just kind of change the overall vibe there. And then we can also take them down. I think 6 dB is good. What am I doing? I'm putting together a sound-alike, a Mortal Kombat sound-alike, the original Mortal Kombat, because I'm going to be releasing this pack to the community for free at the end of this month. By pack, I mean the actual project file, the Ableton project file. I do live streams every day here at 2 p.m. UTC, so if you're into Ableton and working on collaboratively on projects and downloading stuff for free and yeah, using it in games and videos, that kind of thing. I release tracks for video creators, and I release packs like this for game makers and anyone who wants to hack it up and make their own loops out of it. So yeah, that's my gig, and yeah, appreciate any support you can give. I'm just going to keep showing up. 3, 3, 4. Take it from the top, give it a listen through. Three, 4. strings drop out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes back in with a vengeance. We don't want the drop out of the hats there, we can just keep it as it is. This pad's too high. It should just be like somewhere in the distance, right? That's fine now. That's better. Right on. This Mortal Kombat sound alike is coming along nicely. I'm working with severe limitations here because I'm not going to use samples from the game, the fight sound samples and the shouting. So I'm just going to kind of keep with this strictly instrumental approach, and then yeah, end of the month I'll release this for free as an asset pack via YouTube and via my Gumroad and Patreon pages, so keep an eye out for that. I think I'm going to wrap it up now. I've done quite a chunk of this work today. It's gone well. And then we lose the bass over here, and then have like a sort of maybe an outro crash, just like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, ba 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 ba. That's it. That's it. Da 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 da. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I missed the mark here. And then this pad should also not stop before the rest, so let's just keep that going for this time. Yeah, outro part again. 1, 2. It's in the wrong place. It's supposed to be like half a beat earlier, I think. That's it, yeah. And then that means this pad must once again be triggered a little bit earlier, and then we could also just bring the hat to its full resonance. That's it, yeah. Okay, let's do that outro section again. Working like a demon today, man. Very unusual. Yeah, cool, that's great. How you end a track is important. Sometimes the end of a track can make or break it, especially if you're transitioning from one scene to another in a game or a video, and you want that shift of energy to accompany the story or to accompany the visuals or whatever. So a lot of tracks just kind of fade out or just end with like a drop because whoever's made them has just copied the loop and then ended it. I do that sometimes, nothing wrong with it, but you can't use it all the time. So if you're not going to fade out and like going to do a meltdown thing, then you kind of got to punch. You got to make sure there's like a clear ending. So that's what I'm going to do with this track. It's short and sweet, but like most of the people who use my template downloads, you're able to edit this project yourself if you've got Ableton 11. There will be no missing files or missing dependencies. I make sure of that, and you can basically just use the loops and just kind of refactor it to your own desires. That's the idea. Cool, cats. That is it for today. I'm going to take it easy. I think I'm going to go to the beach, honestly. It's a Friday afternoon in Cape Town. It's like, this is what we do around here. Thank you so much to those of you who joined, and I will be back on Monday next week, 2 p.m. UTC. I'm going to continue with this track and then get on with the rest of them. Got 2 weeks to make another 5 tracks, and then still go over the originals. And there's a lot of work to be done, but I'll be here for those streams next week. So if you're looking for something fun to do over the weekend, go ahead, download the free stuff you check the YouTube description for the link to the free packs. I'll be adding this and all the other 80s sounding things that I've done recently to the free pack at the end of this month. So join as a free patron or a paid patron if you like, and you'll be notified of the packs when they go live. And of course subscribe on YouTube, because that's where the action is. I'm going to give this one more listen while I play out. So thanks a lot for joining, and see you guys again soon. Adios.